So you want to think about making it look sort of patchy and making it look uneven. I start at the forehead just because it's the biggest part of my face. And don't be afraid to blend it up into your hairline. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm going to take a couple pictures and then have to wash this off, and I literally just took a shower before I started doing this. So, and also green hairspray on your hair is a nice touch. You don't have to go all the way around your eyes because we're gonna be filling that in with black in a little bit. To coat more evenly with liquid foundations, I find patting like this can be good. Just not like squishing down into your face, but just a gentle pat, 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 pat can help distribute it well. And if it looks splotchy, it lends to the character because he's an insane man that put on makeup to go rob banks and blow people up. So and if the edges on whatever you're using stick up too much for your taste, you can actually go back in and just sort of drag a heavier coating of the white makeup down over it to fill in the edge. That means that you have to go back over a lot more of your face to make it even. Like that. And because he's been wrinkling his face up and rolling around and being blown up and whatever, all of his sweat and stuff has sort of rubbed away at some of the makeup. So a Q-tip would be really good for this, or another edge of a wedge, where your wrinkle lines on your actual face are. Like if you raise your forehead up and like scrunch it up, and you see the lines that happen, you want to go in and just drag the makeup out of that. A Q-tip would be better for this. Don't forget right above the bridge of the nose, like when you scrunch up your eyes. And at the corners of the eyes. Just until it looks weathered enough, and you can go back in and add more white if you feel like it. Don't forget the smile lines, so to speak. Definitely want to be carved out underneath here. Yeah, just make it look distressed and patchy, uneven. And for the eyes, you're going to go in with your black cream makeup. And if you look at a picture of him, he has it outlined so that he looks kind of angry. So it's going to angle up and go out to the edge of the socket and literally fill in most of the eye socket. So I'm going to start in the middle, just coating my eye. And then filling in, like, see, it already happened on this side, like just the shape of my eye socket started to fill in. down, sort of like a lazy puppy dog sort of eye at the bottom, but then, and you can use the edge of it for this up at the top, like that. One side of my face is a little uneven. Sort of. And you can play with it to make it look angrier, make it up higher. And then just the black starts to fill in the wrinkle lines in his face too, so you can start taking away from it, smearing it out along the wrinkle lines, like that. Going in, putting down more, and then smearing it more to get a varied effect. Starts to spill up onto his nose, to contour his nose, because probably he's been rubbing his face. He's been hit by stuff, so it's all... And he had eyebrows for this, so think about what eyebrows would look like covered in this smuts. You can even go back in and partially fill in the lines that you carved out of your forehead with it, using a Q-tip or the edge of this sponge. The very front top of it can work really well. And don't forget the forehead lines around the nose. And you can go in and fill the insides of the scar, like the lines of the scars, with a little bit of black too, to give it more dimension and make it really pop out. And see, me talking has already started to separate the scar wax from my lips. So definitely putting down spirit gum and latexing over it after would be a good idea. And on the makeup side of the scars, I'm outlining the darkest part of the scars with the black again, because I'm going to be defining around it. Just using the edge of the sponge would work really well, like that. And don't be afraid if it's messy again, like his entire face is a fucking shit show. I didn't say that like that, but it is. You can define your nostrils with the contour of your nose, actually, because my nose is kind of wide. It doesn't have a lot of his shape to it. Don't forget to go into the sides of the nostrils, like above them, around, and the smile lines again, you want to really accentuate. Like that. See, and it's just all about dragging the makeup out. You can use your fingers to smudge it. Honestly, the first time I did this makeup, I just used my fingers. And it's supposed to be messy, so just don't try and be overly messy. Control the chaos. Control the chaos. And now putting the red on the lips. Something that I see a lot when people do this is that they go in with like the widest side of whatever they're using and smear it up. But he has it really centralized inside the scars for most of the movie. And it barely ever like gets wider than, I'd say, like a finger's width. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the red on the very edge of the sponge, like how I defined the black in the scars originally, and then I'm just going to go in and do the same thing over the black and bringing it out just a little bit, just like a finger's width out from the side of the scar. And you're going to define all of the little holes that he's cut in his face or has had cut in his face, because we never really figure out how he did get these scars. And obviously, it can be your own interpretation of it. You can take it as far as you want. I personally like it when it looks like he's just smudged most of it off, licked most of it off on the inside, and he does have it on his actual lips. So you can use a wider side of the thumb to do that, because the actual lips are easier to define with that. And then on doing, if you're using just makeup, see, that's how that side turned out. Rather nice, I think. Just makeup, you want to bring it back from the black a little bit, like go around the black like you're outlining it. And you can go back in and rub some off. Then we got this little bit down here. Don't forget this little part underneath the chin, because that's something I see a lot of people miss too. And he's definitely got it. Drag that out a little bit. And you can use the cream makeup to build up an edge. Like, you can sort of see how I made it really thick. You can do that along the side of the scar, and it'll give you a little bit more of a defined edge. So yeah, then just crazy mess up your hair, maybe rub your face on a couple things to further bring out the scariness. You can sort of rub at your eyes, because he probably did that a lot. So this is the final result of the tutorial. I would get green hairspray and spray it, not covering my hair completely messily, like tease it up with your fingers like this and get it all the way through to make the color go through. You can go back Q-tips or fingertips, just dragging out the lines